My earliest memory actually is when the Civic Center opened and I was a little girl and my grandfather was the first manager. So it was a big, very exciting time. And we all came down before the building actually opened, my whole family. And we walked around and looked at it. And it was like, wow, it's so big, it's magical.
And you mentioned it hasn't changed much.
No,
It's
no. As a matter of fact, it hasn't. I still can see right where my parents sat for every single Holland High School and Hope College basketball game, and I still can see exactly where we sat for the Harlem Globetrotters. We actually came home from vacation early and drove straight to the Civic Center so we could watch the Harlem Globetrotters play. I can see my, back in the late 50s, the Detroit Tigers came through. And they came in through the back stairway over there, and my sister had her autograph book. She's older than I am. She had her autograph book. And my grandpa told her that if she went to the back, that's where the Tigers were coming in, and all she wanted was Charlie Maxwell's autograph. And last night when I was talking to her on the phone, she actually has it, and she remembers standing back there just waiting for him to come in. It was great fun, great memories.
So is there a specific event that really is a fond memory for you, or is it many of them since you're had a connection?
One of the things that really stands out is before every event, they had the coat check room, the infamous coat check room, and there was a Dutch door, and my sister and I would go in through the bottom half of the Dutch door, and then we'd play under the coats, and then every now and then they would let us have one of the little white coat check tags and hand it to someone. And there was a woman who was the coat check room assistant. Her name was Nina, and she would work just those events. She lived not far from here, and we'd often drop her off on our way home. But that was one memory, and another one was coming down here on Sundays. I remember the Civic Center was always absolutely spotless. It was very, very clean. And my grandpa used to like to come down on Sundays and just make sure everything was fine and everything had been cleaned up. He also used to send my brother and a friend after the sporting events under the bleachers to pick up all of the programs and papers and any trash that had been thrown under there.
So is there anything else on your notes that you'd want to
Let's see. My cousins lived in East Lansing, and in talking to them, they had a summer home here up at Macatawa. But unbeknownst to my brother and sister and I, they always got to watch every Civic Center parade, every Tulip Time parade from the roof of the Civic Center. My grandpa would invite them, and my cousins don't remember how exactly they got up onto the roof. And we were talking about it. We, of course, were always in the parades, so we never got to do the roof thing, but they said that was great fun. And I can imagine back then that view, with very few trees, was amazing. The other thing that we talked about was they used to bring in big-time wrestling here, and my brother remembers Leaping Larry Shane and Man Mountain Cannon, and those were two of the professional wrestlers. And apparently, my brother wasn't real clear if there was an age limit to come in and watch this, but he remembers, again, the infamous back door, always coming in the back door, my grandpa letting him in there so that he could watch the wrestling and then, again, go under the bleachers afterwards and pick up all the paper. So
it seems like there's, all the stories we've heard, there's quite a range of events, right? From wrestling to Lawrencewell to, it's like...
Everything in the... I remember watching Holland High School plays here. I distinctly remember watching South Pacific and being back behind the curtains where there were these levers that would open and close the curtains, and the record player for the music. But it was everything from the home show to the auto show. I was thinking about the auto show the other night. They must have, how could they have had an auto show here? As I'm looking at it, I can't remember that. But then all of the, the sporting events and the usual things, and then the recreation program, the concession booth back in the back, and that was always just such a hub of activity. And I remember the signs back behind it. It was just it was, I think the Civic Center back in the 50s and 60s it was just such a comfortable place to be. Everyone felt like it was part of their community and part of their home, and I don't think you ever felt uncomfortable walking into the Civic Center. It was always just it's such a comfortable building. And it was used, also, high school baccalaureates and high school graduations and all of those sorts of events. It was really, truly a community living room, or a community recreation room, I guess is what you'd say.